Ah, man. I didn't enjoy the Super Mario Galaxy movie. April Fools! So I just got back from seeing the Super Mario Galaxy movie, came out today, literally first session, 10:30 a.m., sat down with my wife, we dumped our daughter at my parents' place, went to the movies, had a great time. I have some thoughts, I would like to share them in a spoiler-free environment. Hopefully. If there are spoilers, I will put them at the very end of the video and there'll be a big warning so that way you don't get spoiled for those who want to see it. And with that, all the footage that is used in the video is only from trailers, so there's no new footage or anything like that. And I think it's also very important to go and form your own opinions yourself. Like, I can go and talk about the Mario Galaxy movie till the cows come home, or you can listen to all the reviews and all of the critics and everything, but at the end of the day, especially when it comes to video game movies made for children and families, if you're going to it expecting fun and just a good time, then yeah, the Mario Galaxy movie, I had a great time watching it. So I like to go through all of the good things I loved about it, some general things that I noticed, and a few things that I think could be improved for the next one. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe if you're new, and let's get started. At the cinema I went to, they had this really cool Mario Galaxy popcorn tin. So I got this, I didn't wash it. And also I got this cool sippy cup because Mario. I want to put this over here so you can look at it. It says Wahoo. There you go. Mario Galaxy is my favorite game of all time. It released at the perfect time for me when I was going through a really rough point in my life where my parents were going through a divorce and I didn't really have too much to look forward to in terms of school or going home and putting up with the troubles of life. But what I did have, I had Super Mario Galaxy. So for me, as someone who loves Super Mario Galaxy, the game, I came into this kind of thinking is this going to follow the plot of Super Mario Galaxy? And as spoiler free as I can possibly say, no, it doesn't. I would probably say it's more like a sequel to the Super Mario Bros. Movie, but with Mario Galaxy elements put into it. You go through space, there's different galaxies and stuff, but Peach is not the damsel in distress in this movie. And when it comes to Rosalina's observatory and all of the galaxies you go to in the game, it's a lot different to the movie. So from the outset, with that knowledge, we're kind of dealing with a sequel movie. I don't know about you, but there haven't really been many sequel movies that are better than the original. Only a few really come to mind for me, like Shrek 2, Home Alone 2, Toy Story 2. If you've got any other 2 movies that are better than the ones, let me know. All right, first thing I loved. One of the big issues I had with the first movie was the unnecessary pop music put into the movie to kind of show kids, oh, hey, we're hip and cool. And I'm very glad to say that the Mario Galaxy movie does not have that. It utilizes the Mario Galaxy soundtrack and even other Mario games perfectly. I counted 1 or 2 pop songs, but they were put in so well that by the end of it, I barely noticed it until I saw the end credits and was like, oh yeah, it's got good orchestral arrangements. It's just it's good. Couldn't fault it. Next, animation. Illumination knocked it out of the park. This movie is visually stunning. There's a scene at the very start of the movie where they're in Tostarena and there is a close-up of a dry bone skull. The first thing Steph said to me is I can see the texture of the bone. Just the amount of detail and because you're in space, the stardust and all the flurries of space in terms of animation style and just visual flair. It's just so beautiful. Illumination, it's their best movie yet. Cameo appearances, I think, were really cool. I know a lot of people absolutely lost their mind when Nintendo announced that is going to be in the movie. But once you've seen it, the way they do it is just insanely cool. I don't want to spoil anything, but just the animation, if you're gonna go see the movie, watch it and then comment below on what you thought of it, because I saw it and was like, this is sick. There's also some other cameo appearances as well, which I'm not gonna spoil because I feel like you should go see it for yourself, but I literally burst out laughing when it happened, or when they appeared on screen, I was like, no. Even when it comes to seeing iconic character moves like Peach's side B attack in Smash Brothers, or I even noticed Mario's spin jump, twirl. The twirl. Like, it's just those tiny bits of attention to detail that are just flawless throughout the entire movie. I'm gonna get my money's worth. Bowser Jr. as the main antagonist in this movie, at first I was like, I kind of think Bowser Jr. is a little lame, but he is formidable. The way they've kind of developed him as a character, I think is like, oh man, Bowser has messed this kid up. There's some great story elements going back to Bowser Jr.'s childhood and the discussion of family and the words that your parents kind of give you as a child that you kind of linger with you and you're just wanting to make your parents proud. I thought that was a nice touch for a movie that is not just about, you know, good guy beat bad guy. I thought that was nice. And then finally for the positive section of this movie, like the callbacks to various games were insane. They even had like Mario Maker-esque elements in the movie. And then in terms of like the actual boss fight of Mario fighting Bowser, when you see it, you're like, oh, it's so simple, but it makes so much sense. It was a good time, right? Like I came out of that movie being like, wow, I just had a great time watching this. All right, that's all the good stuff. Let's get on to the stuff which I think could have been done a fair bit better, and let's start with the story. To put it bluntly, I guess, there really isn't much. Mario games are usually pretty light on the story elements at the best of times, but I feel like Mario Galaxy as a game has the most depth, so really, the movie should hopefully have a little bit more. We're given a really good backstory to Rosalina, and at the end of the Galaxy game, there's an entire black hole sequence involving like the rebirth of Lumas into new life. It goes places where Mario games really don't go. So you see all that and you play all that, and you know that the source material for Super Mario Galaxy is excellent. I'm just slightly disappointed that the movie, Super Mario Galaxy, doesn't follow that. Instead, we're given a pretty bare-bones rescue mission, just like the first movie, that, sure, it looks visually breathtaking, but for the sequel, I really wanted a little bit more. I know a lot of people talk about the pacing of the first film, and like, it's not resolved in this film, but also remember, this is a movie for kids, and that doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. But I did find that the pacing was very fast. It felt like, especially towards the end, that things kind of were racing towards the finish. I would have loved just to see maybe 5 or 10 extra minutes just wrapping everything up just that little bit more. I would have just liked to see the ending result of Bowser and Bowser Jr.'s kind of fall be explored just a little bit more. The relationship of just a little bit, maybe just like an extra minute or two of them just like realizing what's happened. All right, if you want to know more, we're moving into spoiler territory, so I'll give my score, and then those guys who don't want spoilers, you guys can go. Thank you so much for watching. For the Super Mario Galaxy movie, I will give it a very respectable 7 out of 10. If you're a Mario fan. If you're not a Mario fan, you're probably going to be very confused and wanting a lot more substance for this story, so it's probably a 5 out of 10 if you're not interested in Mario games. I mentioned before, it's not like Mario Galaxy put onto the big screen. It's more of a sequel of the Mario movie with Galaxy elements put onto the big screen. You know what? Actually, give me a second. One of my favorite things about Super Mario Galaxy is Rosalina's storybook, because in a game like Super Mario Bros., there isn't often story elements put into it. So with them going to such effort to give Rosalina a really good backstory, probably like the best amount of Mario lore we've experienced in a Mario game, I don't think the movie follows that very well. Sure, she's the princess in space and she's had a really rough upbringing, but they don't touch on that at all. And like, fair enough, that's cool, but here's the spoiler stuff. So again, last warning, I'm telling you now, don't watch anymore. This book here talks about Rosalina growing up in space and becoming the mother of the cosmos, but the Mario Galaxy movie, Princess Peach is Rosalina's younger sister. When combined together, they have the power of the cosmos. I was watching it and I was like, oh yeah, cool, that's amazing. But like, in terms of that fitting into the Mario lore per se, it's like, oh, okay, well that's new. For the movie, sure, it works really well and that's great. But in terms of like The structured lore that we've known for a very, very long time, that was brand new. That threw me for a curveball, and sure, I'm cool with Rosalina and Peach being sisters. No worries at all. Are Rosalina's parents Princess Peach's parents? Because if so, that does not cover this in the book. There were a couple other like convenient plot points that kind of progressed the story along. So it's like they crash land on a planet and Fox's ship is broken, and then Luigi finds a radio transponder and he calls in a mayday signal, and Rosalina's starship hears it and all the Lumas come and save them. Like, just a very convenient storyline. But at the end of the day, I thought it was fine. Those are my thoughts on the Mario Galaxy movie. Being in Australia, it's great that it kind of releases a day before everyone else in the world, so you can quickly scrape together a video with your thoughts and feelings. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're going to go see the Mario Galaxy movie, or if you've already seen it, let me know what you thought down below. Thanks so much again. If you like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, hype the video if you can. I'll see you next time. Remember to bring your A game.